Alright guys, I wanted to wait with the recap until Hong Kong opened up because I wanted to see if it would have a horrible gap down. Now obviously this is a early in the session, okay? Today very strange here, something I don't look at often. All of the dark pool transactions today was in what's called SPY V. Okay, and there was huge and heavy prints at 55.05, and one could think, oh, this is a SPY, you know, whatever ETF, but it has not hit all-time high, so I gotta dig into this. But this is what they were using for all their dark pool transactions today. Currently we're underneath. Now we did say that if you hit all-time high tomorrow, sell your shit, and that it's Rosh Hashanah and all that good stuff. But after watching this all day, this gives me why did we stop selling? And it gives me, this looks like the Friday algo, and by Friday algo I mean this algo, where you sell, you stop, and you start working yourself up. In this case it would be Wednesday, Thursday, and by Friday you'd have all-time highs. Now I'm not saying this is happening, but there's a good chance, okay? And the reason is we do have a ghost candle right here, and we'd have to check the reaction. And then we have this monstrosity here, whatever it might be. So we got those two spots here. However, I think that having traded these phantom candles ever since the spring and all summer, we have one up here. And what would be better than the same thing I said on Saturday is if you get the shorts in and then you blow them out of the water and then the sell comes. Would be a possibility. If not, you gotta sell quite drastically from here, starting now, today, and go full frontal, because that will most likely be your top then end of the year. And it just doesn't seem that way, because we did hit all-time high today. We did sell, but we closed above that low, and that low, and that low, everything that's been in this cluster. And I'm not saying it will happen, but like time-wise here, if you trade above the FOMC price, under the FOMC price, you have here the hourly 200 and that, okay? Like once we've gotten down here to feel this FOMC thing, that's a completely different thing. But as of right now, we are still trading over the FOMC line. We are, I don't even know how many percent, we're a few bucks off of all-time highs, right? So if we close above these lows tomorrow, there's an argument for a Larry Williams setup where you get the sell, you get an inside day, and then you rally the third, which would be on Thursday. Now, I don't know yet if that inflation import is going to be hot, as hot as the country. Remember, we're in the hottest country in the world. It's debatable if that's because the country is boiling on the stove or if it's just hot. Okay, that is up to you to decide. But anyways, just looking at this chart here, we have had, again, if we go back to where the month starts, we rip up usually in the middle we do get a sell like that, or then at the end. That was July. August, we did have in the middle of the month this decline, could be something like that, and then chug back up. So I'm not ready to say, 600, here we come. Like, what happened today? Well, you could say it was the holiday. I think it was messaging. I think that this here was a message, personally. Just like the escalator was a message. Just like the teleprompter was a message. Look, if the rest of the world is firmly against your ally, they're gonna look at you. So that escalator thing was very symbolic to me, at least. Okay, so all eyes on China tonight. What are they gonna do? Okay, what are they gonna do? Because again, there's a setup here. I posted it already, which is the head and shoulders pattern. What happens after a head and shoulders goes back to where it started from? It rips. Okay. Another thing here, again, if you look on the 4 hour, just pointing out here to you, every time that we, for instance, have here's that same pattern, come down to any of these big MAs, albeit they've been a little bit more condensed. Here you see we have returned fairly quickly. I don't know if that's gonna happen with this setup here. We did have a trend, we said yesterday we have a trend change for today, and I said if you get a trend change, the more sell and the faster is actually bullish. And you can already see what we did here to the 4 hour, which has been elevated ever since FOMC. All right. Another thing here is the NAMO. It hasn't gone anywhere. Could it be that the NAMO now starts going down here and then is a rally into the end of the year? Sure. If we do not sell here, the end of the year rally becomes a little less likely. So it would be good for the market to, let's go test this trend line into the second week of October and then absolutely rip to 7,000. Like that would be a dream come true, but cautious, because again, yeah, you had your triple top here, and then I'm sure you remember I was messing around with where was it? It was not on SPX, it's on SPY. Hold on. I was messing around, remember I was scalping SPX to the upside here, and I was like, it does not want to get through at all. And that's where it broke. Nothing happened here. So is this a message? Could be. I mean, then it was bombs away. But again, that is a wall into the close. I would say tomorrow, if this goes up, don't be in any calls past this area here, 655. Okay, it will either stop there and start chopping or reject hard. Now if we gap under this and start selling, first spot is 661, second spot is the FOMC line, last line of defense is this 657 on SPY. Okay, so write that down and remember it, very, very important. We did hit our or we came close to our weekly high. Our weekly high is here actually, and our weekly low is right under this FOMC trend line. So again, can the top be in? Yes, but we have that one phantom, and I don't understand why we wouldn't go tap that out, because ever since I've received the 642, 652, 655 and 670, I haven't received any more upside. There's a reason I have alerts galore here. It's so that I short this, okay? And that's all I'm saying. Can the top be in? Yes. Does it leave targets behind for later? Yes. Could it come pretty swiftly? Yes. I mean, you sure have. You have the catalysts to do it if you're positioned well enough. You have Thursday durable goods GDP and jobs, and then on Friday you got core PC. Now some people might say, oh, market started selling because Powell said equities are overweight. Okay, but are we gonna listen to him, since we know if he doesn't cut next time he's getting fired? You know, what does that mean? I mean, you saw absolute counter rally in the morning here, holding on for a little bit on Dow Jones. They did the Dow Jones IWM thing again and then dumped it, right? The VIX 1D, I feel like it should have rallied more. Same thing here, kind of exhausted. We'll have to see. Bitcoin still doing that same shit it has, but this, unless obviously they can turn this around, but they're buying their shit right now. Okay, if all hell was loose, they'd be selling it. They might still change their mind. I'm just saying. He came down on the escalator and today wasn't even fucking working, and I think that message has been told to him in all of his 32 meetings today. Now, individuals, LAC, sometimes you catch these moves, sometimes you don't. We're gonna watch this now, because if they take a stake, it's going even higher. When, who knows, they're gonna need it for all the data centers, because soon Larry's gonna own everything from CNN to fucking TikTok to everything. Why do they need the data centers? Because the United States will be selling data. Okay? They will be selling data big time. Obviously, China and Huawei have said that they are going to straight up compete with Nvidia now. Keep that in mind as well. There's a reason Baba is still hanging out here. Even though we got this run up, it's still hanging out here. Hasn't even been able to test the daily 9. Okay, huge. Why? Because money around the world is going into China. Okay. Favorite short setup, I know Todd is on it, is this. This is a fucking wild chart. Okay, whole day right there. Now, why is Apple here? Same reason it wasn't moving all spring, until they said, yes, we will share the data. Boom. Okay, that's how it works. Oracle, let me see. There was some news. Yeehaw, yeehaw, yeehaw. I'm sure they sell that too. Still a giant bull flag, nevertheless. Keep an eye on it. I still think it gets 350. Whenever you hear something, obviously there's no deal yet. Okay. Meta, pretty dog shit. Once you fail a setup like this, you gotta wait for it to come all the way down to here, because then a inverted head and shoulders has failed and you are in actuality making a larger double bottom. So here's the inverted head and shoulders. It should result in a ripper. It did not do that. Therefore, the pattern becomes a W. Okay? Boeing is where, here it is. It is actually, I'm still in Boeing. It is up here after hours. Let's see what it does in the morning. Same with QBTS, up after hours. Absolute face melter here. Okay, so looking at the same stuff, as far as SPY and QQQ, pretty simple. Play it upside into here and see what it does, and then if it rejects, which it would, wait for a bottom to form. If it gaps down here, I just gave you the targets on here. As far as gamma for tomorrow, where are you? You are here. The gamma for tomorrow pretty much says the same thing, right? If you lose today's low, you're going to that 657 area. Okay, that's the ghost candle. That's the second ghost candle. Okay, you're here. Upside, sell into previous support, which is now resistance, which is that. Then we can just take a peek here on Thursday. Probably looks the same. Yeah, this upside is a little bit more guarded. Plenty of downside here. Plenty. That's why it's sometimes hard to catch top. This is Friday. If that core PC is hot, down you go. It's up to you. Do you think that Trump is telling the truth when he says that they have eradicated inflation? That remains to be seen, right? I'm gonna play with the premiums. This is really nice. All right, guys, I will see you tomorrow. And let me put it this way: if we gap up, or not even, but if we don't gap down and we're here, whenever we arrive here, sell your shit, okay, and wait to reload. And if we go down, the 9, FOMC, and then the ghost. All right, God bless.